President Park Geun-hye vowed structural reforms in 4 key sectors as top priority for the second half of the year, stressing that labor reform is essential. The government has proposed forming a public corporation out of the Fund Management Center of the National Pension Service to improve management of pension funds. And voter turnout of 99.97% and approval ratings of 100% is the outcome of the provincial elections in North Korea, sparking international criticism. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Wednesday, July 22nd. I'm Luke Clary. At a cabinet meeting this week, President Park Geun-hye vowed to push for structural reforms in 4 key sectors as the top priority goal in state affairs for the second half of the year. She stressed that labor reform is essential to the nation's survival.
President Park Geun-hye has said that structural reforms in public, labor, finance, and education sectors are aimed at improving bad practices and strengthening the Korean economy's fundamentals. She said the reforms cannot succeed only through government willpower and asked for cooperation from the public and lawmakers.
개혁을 하지 않으면 우리나라의 미래는 어둡고 특히 미래 세대에게 빚을 남기게 돼서 그들이 감당해야 될 몫이 너무 힘들고 고통의 반복이 지속될 수밖에 없습니다.
She especially stressed urgency in labor market reform, calling it a vital strategy for survival and a mission of our times to promote coexistence of different generations. She noted that if the wage peak system is not properly settled by next year, when the retirement age is extended, youth employment will become an even bigger concern. Labor market reform is surely expected to be a key issue in state governance in the remainder of the year, as the president has stressed its importance following a similar appeal by ruling Saenuri Party chairman Kim Moo-sung. The president also urged cabinet members to lay down all their personal tasks and solely focus on the national economy and reform.
The government has proposed setting up a public corporation out of the Fund Management Center of the National Pension Service in a bid to improve management of pension funds. The move does have its critics.
The national pension was established 27 years ago to guarantee financial stability for Korean citizens after retirement. Its funds now amount to approximately $435 billion. The Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs has proposed a plan to overhaul the National Pension Service at the request of the Ministry of Health and Welfare. The plan seeks to enhance the professionalism and profitability of the National Pension Fund. The salient point of the plan is to separate the Fund Management Center from the National Pension Service and establish it as a separate corporation. Under the plan, the new corporation will act as a financial investment entity managed by experts in order to maximize its profitability. However, some civic groups are opposing the move because of the dubious credentials of its potential members and the compromised safety of pension funds.
고위험 추구형의 투기성 국민연금 기금이 되지 않을까 국민들이 우려하지 않겠냐라는 부분을 먼저 지적하겠고요.
The government will draw a final decision on whether or not to restructure the National Pension Service after discussing the issue with the relevant departments and holding public hearings. But clashes are expected during parliamentary discussions.
A voter turnout of 99.97% and approval rating of 100% is the outcome of the first provincial elections held in North Korea under the Kim Jong-un regime. Of course, the result is nothing new, but what is unusual is the level of criticism coming from the international community.
North Koreans stood in long lines for a chance to elect deputies to their local assemblies. People were seen dropping their ballots into the ballot box without filling them out in any particular way. This is the way North Korean people express their approval for the single-party appointed candidates running for election in each constituency.
선거에 참가해서 찬성의 한 표를 바쳤습니다. 저와 같은 평범한 여성들이 나라의 대의원이 다 되고 정말 생각되는 것이 많았습니다.
The outcome was a turnout of 99.97% and approval rating of 100%. The numbers are exactly the same as recorded from the National Assembly elections last year and the local assembly elections held 4 years ago. Foreign media, such as the BBC and CNN, strongly criticized North Korea for mobilizing the public for the predetermined elections, seen as a ploy to justify the legitimacy of the regime.
Well, as with everything in North Korea, that is up to Kim Jong-un. He actually does have a choice.
The U.S. State Department also blasted the North's elections in connection with the country's human rights condition. The British government said they didn't, at the very least, hold a secret ballot, adding that the process was a far cry from democracy.
Every summer, drowning accidents occur in the wetlands of the West Coast caused by the high tide. Here's how to stay safe.
A family perched precariously on a rock grab hold of a rope and swim to the shore. They became stranded when the tide started coming in while they were digging for clams. Engrossed in their clam digging, these people failed to notice that the seawater was rising. The speed of a high tide can range from 7 to 15 kilometers an hour. That's 2 to 3 times faster than the walking speed of an adult, and therefore does not allow enough time to evacuate. Early this month, a couple drowned in the ocean waters off Ansan after becoming stranded during a high tide. More than 530 cases of stranding accidents occurred in the nation over the past 3 years, killing 9 people. To prevent such a tragedy, it's essential to check the tide charts using a smartphone app before entering a wetland. Travelers are also advised to refrain from entering a wetland alone because when one's feet become stuck in the mud, it becomes difficult to escape even for adults. To save time in case of emergency, victims should turn on the GPS signal on their smartphone before calling rescue services.
The police are cracking down on what's called revenge driving. Any threats made on the road by someone operating a vehicle can lead to terrible incidents. We have more on this alarming trend of revenge driving.
An express bus slightly goes over the lane on a curvy road, and the 1-ton cargo truck that was running beside it is startled. And then the truck begins to retaliate. The truck passes ahead of the bus and halts to a sudden stop. The bus, trying to avoid a collision, veers to the outside lane.
이건 사망사고까지 일어난 아주 대형 사고라고요. 그 대중교통을 갖다가 그렇게 장난을 치고 그러면 우리 어떻게 운전을 먹고 살아요?
Meanwhile, this car blocks a bus on the middle of a highway in retaliation over getting cut off earlier. Here, a passenger car drives in a threatening manner after wrangling with a motorcyclist. Still fuming, he eventually gets out of his car and picks a verbal fight. Revenge driving, accidentally triggered by trifling quarrels, can lead to large-scale, horrendous accidents. The North Chungcheong Provincial Police Agency said it rounded up 3 suspects following its crackdown that began July 10th.
Korean researchers have developed a new adhesive using the structure of the adhesive protein found in mussels. The finding is expected to be of great help in medicine because the material does not trigger a rejection response from the body and it doesn't leave any scars.
A newly developed protein adhesive is applied to a wound on a lab mouse. After being exposed to light for about 10 seconds, the wound closes. This animal test demonstrates the effectiveness of the protein adhesive developed by a team of researchers led by Pohang University of Science and Technology's Chemical Engineering Department professor Cha Hyung-jun. The new adhesive can be used to stitch up wounds, including surgical ones.
사람 몸에 사용할 수 있는 접착제가 현재 없거든요. 그래서 저희가 이런 단백질로 만들어진 접착제를 실제 우리 몸에 사용할 수 있는 접착제로 개발했다는 데 크게 의미가 있고요.
The researchers developed the adhesive using the structure of the natural adhesive protein found in mussels. Thanks to its natural properties, the adhesive has a low rejection rate and leaves almost no visible scarring compared to existing surgical stitches. The researchers expect the adhesive to be particularly effective in preventing excessive bleeding during surgeries because it can close a wound in just 10 seconds of exposure to light. The researchers plan to commercialize their findings within 2 years after conducting clinical trials.
With the summer vacation season coming into full swing, many people are looking for good domestic tourist destinations. Today, we'll introduce special vacation options that are available in the capitals of Korea's ancient kingdoms, Silla and Baekje. Let's take a look.
These are the Donggung Pavilion and Warji Lake in Gyeongju, North Gyeongsang Province, the site of a palace during the unified Silla period. Centuries-old buildings are set in a serene landscape, which is rarely found in busy and crowded urban areas. As the capital of the ancient Silla Kingdom, Gyeongju is like a museum with historical sites scattered all over the entire city. The house of the Che family in Gyeongju is a site that teaches living lessons about sharing and kindness. Known for its wealth, the Che family lived up to the tradition of helping those in need without hesitation.
최 씨 집안에서 노블리스 오블리주를 너무 잘 실천해서 아이한테 많은 교육적인 도움이 될 것 같아서.
안녕하세요.
Rare birds and plants greet visitors who are returning from a travel back in time, adding some spice to their vacations. These are historic areas from the Baekje Kingdom, which were recently added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. Families pay a visit during the summer vacation to catch glimpses of the culture of the ancient kingdom. More and more families are choosing ancient capitals and historical sites as vacation destinations to learn about the nation's traditional culture and history.
Idol boy group TVXQ member Yuno has joined the military. And another South Korean boy group, Beast, has a new song that has topped a Chinese music chart. This and more coming up in today's entertainment news.
Boy band TVXQ member Yunho entered boot camp in Yangju, Gyeonggi Province on Tuesday to begin his 21-month mandatory military service. The star said through his agency that he wanted his entry into the service to be a low-profile affair, but his fans from Korea, Japan, and other Asian nations gathered en masse to bid him farewell. TVXQ will halt their activities for the time being, as another member, Max Changmin, will enlist as a conscripted policeman later this year. Idol boy band Beast's latest song, Gotta Go to Work, has topped China's largest music chart, the Yinyue Tai V. With heartfelt lyrics, the song describes the longing a man feels upon having to leave a loved one behind to go to work. Returning as a 4-member band, girl group The Wonder Girls have released the first video featuring their instrumental performance. Amid a mysterious atmosphere, the sounds of a bass guitar played by Sunmi captivate the viewer's eyes and ears. The Wonder Girls will release the title track of their 3rd regular album with a music video on August 3rd.
Many people think that clothes made with rami fabric are mostly worn by old people, but a growing number of products made with this cooling fabric are designed for younger consumers. Here's more on this unique fabric that helps people stay cool throughout the summer. This farm in Socheon, South Chuncheon Province grows the famous Hansan rami. This area has the ideal climatic conditions for growing rami thanks to high humidity brought on by sea winds and the fertile soil.
모시는 덥고 습한 지역에서 잘 자라나고요. 그런 곳에서 자란 모시가 일정하게 크게 길게 자라나서 섬유를 생산하기에 좋습니다.
The fabric is made with rami stems after removing the leaves. To weave clothing fabric, thick raw rami must be made first. The outer skin is removed with a saw blade until only the soft part is left. The inner skin is dried in the sun and soaked in water several times. Now the thick raw rami is ready.
못을 껍데기는 오히려 훑어 나가고 못이 헐 거는 태무시는 이렇게 질기게 나와요. 이 손으로. 그래서 그놈으로 태무시로 못이를 하는 거죠.
Next, the raw rami is split into thinner parts. This is done with the mouth. During this process, the thickness of rami is determined. The next step is connecting the threads. Rami is placed on the knees to keep the piles intact and then rubbed with the hands. Only after all these steps can the weaving process finally begin. This is done by interlacing the warp yarn with the woof yarn on a loom. Everything is exclusively done by hand. Rami is used not only as a fabric, but also as a cooking ingredient. But it should be boiled or steamed to make it softer. Rice cakes made with rami are a popular snack in Korea. People of all ages like its light and neat taste. Knife-cut noodles made with rami are also popular. First, cut the rami leaves, grind them in a blender to extract their juices, and mix with flour dough. You can use rami powder instead, but if you want your noodles to have a distinct color and taste better, use raw rami leaves. Lightweight clothes and nutritious food made with rami will keep you cool during the summer heat. And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.